Hi. So today is day 61 of my health journey to take back my health, lose weight, which is part of taking back my health, lower my blood sugar, which I did, and lower my cholesterol, which I did, and lower my blood pressure, which I also did. So I'm doing good. I mean, that shows how insidious sugar and gluten is. And I've talked in detail in other videos about my 20-year love affair with junk food and what it did to me. Blood pressure 150 over 100 despite 4 pills a day. 4 different medications too. Cholesterol 289 despite not eating that much meat. Ate everything else though. And blood sugar borderline diabetic. I mean, my prediabetes has been pretty bad. I mean, the highest A1C I had was like 5.9. That's pretty high. So, that I was in trouble. And it's amazing to me how during those years I always tried to eat healthy and tried to lose weight. I didn't try very hard because I didn't give up the junk food, but I would eat lots of salads and spinach soups. I would make spinach soup and asparagus soup. I put cream in it, hence the high cholesterol, but not that much cream. I mean, you know what I used to do? And I still might do this because it's reasonable. I would just take like 3 or 4 stalks of asparagus when it was on sale because I'm frugal. That's frugalicious living. When it was in season and on sale, I would just boil it down in a pot and then I'd add the, powdered chicken broth to it. I got the low sodium. It's a brand that's really good. It's called Better Than Bouillon. And I would just add scallions because they're low carb and boil it. And then I would put it in a blender and, blend it so it's nice and smooth. And then every day that I had some, I would carefully measure 2 tablespoons of heavy cream and put it in there. And I would say that, excuse me, that is eating cream, heavy cream in moderation, but that is way too much cream for somebody with high cholesterol trying to lose weight. It was. I just didn't think about that. I thought, well, it's a serving size, so like that made it okay. At least I didn't, like cook with just like 2 cups of heavy cream. Even today when I watch these cooking shows, I'm just astonished at the amount of heavy cream and butter in these recipes. And I look at the hosts and they're like thin. And I'm like, who's eating that? It's probably not them, but it might be them. So, some people can eat whatever they want and not gain weight, but you know what? They still have health risks. I mean, my doctor said that to me. He said, weight is not the whole picture. Your arteries can be clogged and you can be slender. So, everyone has to eat right and take care of their health. Nobody really gets away with eating what's bad for them because it's going to show up one way or another. Skinny people get diabetes, skinny people get heart attacks, they get strokes, they get heart disease. It's just not a good thing to eat all that. Now, having said all that, would I still make that soup? Yeah, I would, but I put 1 tablespoon of heavy cream and maybe some skim milk if I wanted it to be creamier. I would watch that saturated fat a lot more carefully because a lot of people that diet forget that fat has double the calories of protein per gram. My endocrinologist reminded me of that because the new thing now, I don't know if you've read it, is fat is not the enemy, it's carbs and sugar. I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that, but that's more about healthy fats, as in avocado and nuts and olive oil. It's not so much about saturated animal fats. That's never really that good for you. But in extreme moderation, I'm going to add the extreme now because, for instance, I think that I'm going to limit myself to 1 to 2 tablespoons of heavy cream a day, not a meal. So if I have some decaf coffee or tea with a tablespoon of heavy cream, that's going to be it. I'm not going to have the soup with heavy cream that day. Because calories count too. And that's something I had to learn the hard way. Every time I tried to get away from that and do the, you know, unlimited low carb vegetables and protein and cheese and the low carb diet, the Atkins, which I've also tried. Every time I try to do that, I lose a few pounds and then that's it. It stalls. And my doctor said that happens to some people it doesn't. But it's very complex, as I've talked in other videos, and that's why I'm making these videos, because I'm one of those people for whom weight loss is extremely stubborn, and it can be very demoralizing, very depressing, very discouraging. All those words start with D. It can be. So it's difficult when you're faced with such unrelenting lack of cooperation from your body when you're going to the gym and eating correctly. It's difficult to keep going on. So that's why I'm making these videos. I kind of want to be a support to others, and it's also a support to me for myself, because as I said, during the day when I'm making choices about what to eat, I'm thinking, well, yeah, I don't want to get on the video and say, I ate like a bucket of heavy cream. I don't want to make a fool out of myself. So even though the weight loss is slow, the health effects are encouraging. And I've talked in other videos about the importance of, getting good medical support from your doctor. Not that I think doctors are the whole answer, but I think it can be helpful. And I know not everyone has health insurance, and I would encourage you, if you do not, to take advantage of a lot of community wellness programs, which I did at a time that I didn't have health insurance. It's just not everybody does throughout their whole entire life. And that's why a lot of places have community health fairs where you can get cholesterol screening and things like that. And if it's high, they do refer you to a doctor, but they will also kind of give you some tips and talk to you, because a lot of medical professionals understand that not everybody has health insurance. And I think a lot of them really try to be champions of good health. They really want to help people. I have had some wonderful experiences when I did not have health insurance, going to these community health fairs and taking these screenings and coming out really bad, of great concern to these people, and having them really take a few moments, despite being really busy, to talk to me about it and give me some brochures on information and some handouts. And I've been really touched by that, because these people really care. A lot of them do, and they're not being paid, they're volunteering their time apart from their jobs. So I would encourage people that don't have health insurance to plug into that system, because that's why it's there. There's free clinics in a lot of communities, not all. I do live in the Great Lakes area, as I've shared in other videos, so there's a lot here. It's very developed, and it's like one of the best places to live in the world for healthcare, because we have the Cleveland Clinic, we have university hospitals, there's a lot of great hospitals in the area, and they really are, like I said, champions for good health. And I see quite a lot of health fairs in the paper. So just look for them. Just look for them. Get these screenings, at least get a good idea of where you're at. And if you come up with super high cholesterol, super high blood pressure, super high blood sugar, and you're not able to get medical care, do research in the library and start following some programs. I know there's a great book by Dr. Mark Hyman. I forgot his name because I read so much, not like he's not important. I didn't forget his name because he's not important. Um, my very wonderful, kind sister, who's very great to me about taking care of my health, bought me his book about lowering your blood sugar. And I learned so much from that book. It's really, really good. Now he can be a little, what's the word? Commercialized. He wants to sell encouragement programs and sell videos and sell supplements and all that. But it does not mean that he is not a real researching doctor that has some helpful information. If you buy anything, buy his book. I'm too frugal to buy all the supplements and videos and one-on-one counseling with his staff. I mean, I don't really need all that. Some people do, and if you can afford it, go right ahead. But I'm too frugal. I buy the book, I read it, and I cheerlead myself because that's kind of where a lot of us end up. It's just a fact of life. And my girlfriends and I try to encourage each other and help each other, and that's good. That's not a substitute for professional help, but some people don't need that one-on-one nutritional coaching. Sometimes you just need encouragement, and that's also what these videos are about. Okay, having said all that, I am still trying to recover from the faucet fiasco, from fixing mine and fixing my mom's. You see, I'm still in my nightgown. I haven't gotten dressed today yet because yesterday I was so tired. It was such a long day. It was really difficult. And I was too tired at the end of the day to do the video for today. So I had to do it the next morning. At least it's first thing the next morning, early in the morning. So that's at least a consolation to me. I had a terrible eating day yesterday, really terrible, because, I shouldn't say that. I really should, because I'm doing the best that I can. And I have high standards for myself. And I really need to stop that because it sets me up to fail and then be depressed and be really sad. So this is a work in progress, not perfection. This is a journey. So I'm going to say I did not make the best choices today, but I did stay on my plan. So considering that we're still behind on dishes and behind on grocery shopping because I've been kind of obsessed with both sinks for a while, I didn't have that much around. So for breakfast, I got the bag of nuts. That's the same picture from before because, I didn't want to take up too much space on my phone when I ate exactly the same thing. So I took the bag of nuts and I divided it in half, thinking I'd have half for breakfast. Even though that didn't work out so great last time, I tried it again because I wasn't that hungry. I'm not that hungry sometimes. So I had half of that. And then because I wanted to keep my meals simple today, and I could have made better choices here too, something I didn't have to cook or didn't really have any dishes, I had a couple of apples with peanut butter. That used to be one of my favorite meals when I was trying to do the vegan, which I've given up on because my doctors are telling me that to get enough protein in a vegan diet, you have to have way too many calories and nuts and seeds and stuff. So they suggested that I continue to eat low-fat protein sources like fish and eggs and chicken. They were fine with me cutting out beef and dairy. I haven't given up the dairy yet, but I'm still eating dairy, but I trying to cut down on the beef. So I had 2 apples of peanut butter, and I didn't measure the peanut butter, which probably I'm gonna feel the effects of on weigh-in day because I've been at a plateau for the last couple of weeks. I'm gonna have to get with that because my doctors keep telling me how important that is because you eat more than you realize. In fact, I think I've shared this in another video. One of my doctors, my endocrinologist, said to me, you know what? Your diet is beautiful. It's great if you were a 20-year-old serious athlete because it was healthy, it was vegan, it was lots of vegetables and fruits, but it had way too many calories, and mostly peanut butter and nuts. And that's those things are very high in calories. So by the time you're getting all your protein from that source, that's a lot of fat and that's a lot of calories. So he's convinced me. So that was my main meal of the day. And so I decided to have dessert with that. Although it wasn't really dessert, I had some potato chips from Trader Joe, which I love, and some chip dip. This is like one of my snacks that I really like because it doesn't have any gluten, it doesn't have any sugar, but it still tastes good. But it's not really the best diet food because it's fried and then the dip is high in fat. Like I said, it's been a difficult week, a challenging week with the faucets. And I'm really proud of myself that I fixed both of them. I mean, really, I'm like really excited about it, but it has taken a toll on me and my life because I had to be like obsessed with them for 4 or 5 days, watching video after video and trying things and not having it work out and trying again and giving up and watching more videos and waiting till the next day and then crawling in and out of the sink and my back was killing me and my muscles were pulled and I hurt my shoulder because when I got in the sink, because I'm not a tiny person, unfortunately, not yet, I had taken my surgery, so my shoulder bent it over my chest and it hurt so bad when I was under there and I had to rest for the pain. See, being overweight complicates your life in so many ways. And I was thinking about that. If I wasn't still 93 pounds overweight, would I have pulled so many back muscles crawling in and out of under the sink? Would my surgery arm hurt that bad if I wasn't pulling up 93 extra pounds? I mean, think about that. If I went to a grocery store and I tried to pick up one of those 60-pound bags of cat food or cat litter, I couldn't do it. There's no way. Or two 30-pound bags. I just can't imagine picking up 30-pound bags of cat food and strapping it onto my back and walking around. 93 pounds is a lot that I'm putting my joints through, and so that's yet another reason to lose weight. All these people that say, I'm happy being the way I am, overweight, very overweight, some of them. I'm happy the way I am, I'm fine. I don't think they have to get under the sink and fix their own faucet because this world is not made for really overweight people. I mean, it's hard. So then after that, after all that fat, the fried stuff, and the peanut butter and the dip, I decided for my third meal of the day, which is always like a lighter meal, to have that might be a little overdoing it for cuties because they're so good. There's like such a treat. They're so sweet and easy to peel and easy to eat. And they're fat free. So that's my rationalization. I didn't make the ideal choices today, but it was on plan. I didn't eat too many calories. I didn't overeat. So except maybe the cuties, but I could have overeat a lot of other things. So that's how today or yesterday went. It's early the next morning, but I hope all of you had a good day and I hope you did better. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.